Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned Albino's final thoughts on Mario Tennis Aces. The game's been out for like 2 or 3 days, so I know that's not a lot, and it's an ongoing thing. But also, I've already seen pretty much everything the game has to offer, with the exception of like the drip feeding they're gonna do in the coming months with just like characters based on online tournaments. But anyway, okay, best Mario Tennis since Mario Power Tennis on GameCube. Mario Power Tennis on GameCube was the shit. It was so fun, and it had such a rewarding gameplay loop. The way you unlocked characters, and I don't remember everything about it, but I just remember there was something that compelled me to just keep playing it over and over again. And oh yeah, you would eventually unlock the star versions of your characters, which would make them way better. And yeah, that was the reason to do it. And there was no online because it was GameCube, obviously, so that that wouldn't be overpowered or anything. It just made the offline play a lot more fun. So that was a really compelling reason to come back and keep playing. Since Mario Power Tennis, there's been what? There's been Ultra Smash, which I never played, and there's been, I have it sitting right here, Mario Tennis Open, which I also haven't played. So, clearly I know what I'm talking about. But Mario Tennis Aces it's as good, or it's more fun, like mechanics and gameplay wise, than Mario Power Tennis was. Doesn't have as much to do as Mario Power Tennis did, but it is as fun. Okay, so it has an adventure mode, and that is very pointless. The adventure mode does not need to exist. It's like it's cute a little bit, but also it's just a whole lot of fluff for like nothing. You're doing it for no reason. It's about 4 or 5 hours, depending on how many times you gotta like replay stuff. And it has very frustrating sections. Oh my god, I didn't expect it to be that hard. It's kind of really hard. And Mario Tennis Aces in general is much harder of a tennis game than what has come before it due to the mechanics they've introduced, like trick shotting and zone speed, zone shots, the power shots, all that stuff. It's really hard to nail down. And the fact that there's 4 buttons on the controller now, because it's a Switch, that are all used to do different types of shots, it takes a while to get used to. It's hard. There's a learning curve, but once you like kind of get it down, then it's fun. But the adventure mode, like a few days before the game launched, they were touting like there's RPG mechanics in the adventure mode, and when you just see that on paper, you're like, oh my god, that's awesome. But the way it was implemented is just like every time you won a thing, like a match or like a practice round or whatever event was happening in the adventure mode, you would level up instantly. And then you would maybe gain like the tiniest boost to either your shot speed or your running speed or your agility. Minimal differences that made probably no difference at all. And like throughout the course of, and you'll level up like almost 30 times by the time you're done. If you're just, if you don't do too much grinding. And by the end of it, like it doesn't make the RPG, that's all that happens. The RPG mechanics is just you level up when you win and you get maybe even a mild boost to one of these stats. And it doesn't affect anything at all. And you also gain rackets, which the rackets just like the more rackets you get, like each racket is better than the last. It just increases its durability and its ability to, break other people's rackets and stuff like that. But oh, the frustrating sections, the boss fights are before you learn how to like time the zone shots, like the super powerful shots that'll break your racket if you don't block them like right at the perfect second. They will launch so many of those at you in a row with no regard, like especially the final boss at the end is you're literally having a rally of just you blocking those zone shots like 4 or 5 times in a row. And if you mess up, you lose like time because you don't have like HP, but your HP is kind of like your time meter in those boss fights. So as you get hit, the time goes down, and then if you run out of time, then you lose. Otherwise, you make an error, they just restart the rally or whatever. But the bosses are so difficult sometimes. And some of the other sections too, like when you have to hit the ball in specific locations to knock enemies out, that's pretty hard to do a lot of the time. Especially when they're all throwing balls at you like simultaneously. There could be like if it's the Hammer Bros thing, you're supposed to hit the hammers back and there'll be like 8 or 9 of them on the court at the same time, and like Mario will get confused over which one he should hit, and yeah, things like that. Also, excuse me, I had 3 brownies today. They were really good. Yeah, so that's the adventure mode. It's pointless. You unlock courts for free play as you go through it, like the ones that you play on. Like, all right, courts, fine. But you don't unlock any characters. You don't unlock anything, and there isn't even anything else to unlock. It's just you get courts and you get characters. You don't get each character, like you get different rackets in the adventure mode, but in online tournaments and free play and whatnot, your character is relegated to their own like style racket. You don't get to pick different rackets. It's just the one racket. So like even that mechanic is only in adventure mode. So it's like, why did you do that? You could have at least had a cool cosmetic thing going where you could unlock rackets for your characters that looked cool. That would have been nice. They didn't do that. The new tennis mechanics are integral and fun. Like when you play Mario Tennis Aces and you get used to all the new stuff that they added, the zone shots, the trick shots, the superpower shots, zone speed, all that, they all feel very necessary to the core experience of Mario Tennis. And as such, like they're here to stay. Like if they do, the next Mario Tennis game that they make is gonna have all this stuff too. They can't take it out. They have a simple mode if you want. That's just like regular tennis. It's back to Mario Power Tennis controls and stuff. But I'd rather not play that. It's fun to play that and be Boo, because Boo is like an insane, and just anybody who's a tricky character and does like the ridiculous curved slice. If you're doing that in simple mode where like enemies don't have zone speed or trick shots to like get to those things, it's pretty insane. But yeah, so mechanics are good. Oh, in line up with that, character balance is kind of a problem. There are many overpowering and downright cheap strategies, and just from like, I've played probably 20 online matches total. I've won, I want to say 13 or 14 of them. My win ratio is like 74%. I remember that. So that's pretty good. But yeah, like I've come across like some seemingly invincible things. First of all, Waluigi is probably the best character in the game, and I hate saying that because I hate Waluigi. But Waluigi is this freaking lanky, takes up the whole goddamn court. He is impossible to service ace because he'll just run up on the service box, on the service line, and just camp there, and like no matter how you curve the ball, like his arms can reach wherever it goes. That might be true for basically any character. Like as long as you just run up to the service box, you kind of can't be service aced. So that's a tip for you, I guess. I've seen people doing it, and I'm doing it now. So yeah, like I did it with Toad and I never got ace. So if Toad can reach every ball, I think Waluigi's got it locked down. Yeah, and then I played against someone who was doing non-stop trick shot spam. Just every single shot he was trick shotting. Trick shotting is when you like do the dive to the ball, and you can do that from like anywhere on the court. If it's way behind you, you got lobbed over, you do a trick shot, you just like lunge across the court and hit the ball. And if you react soon enough to the shot and do it, you'll gain energy. Energy is the other new mechanic. That's what dictates your ability to use all these new mechanics. Like zone speed, that takes energy. Zone shots, that takes energy. So you need to build up energy with doing charge shots, and in this case, trick shots, by reacting like immediately as your opponent hits the ball. And I ran into this Waluigi that was trick shotting every single hit. And in order to do it, like you have to do it right when I hit the ball, so I think he was cheating, because there's no way he could have known exactly the direction I would hit the ball in every single time, because he was never faltering. And I was trying to fake him out all the time, and it didn't matter. He would just trick shot like forwards and hit the ball as it was right in front of him, even though he was already at the net. Like he would just like basically just like hump the net while trick shotting, and it was impossible to do anything. So that pissed me off. So I've never been so mad. But yeah, so I think Waluigi, Chain Chomp is another character who can just reach everywhere, because he's huge, I mean, you've seen Chain Chomps. He takes up half the court, too. And his lunge, not his trick shot, but just like his ability to lunge after a ball, he could do that cross court. it seems. Like, it doesn't matter. He can't, obviously, you can't return it very fast by doing that, but, like, you cannot get something by him. And he's obviously a power character, so, like, he'll have you on the ropes, and you won't be able to get, like, a powerful shot going, because you'll just be in this constant cycle of returning weak hits and just trying to get back everything that he's just, like, pounding them your way, just like, "Rrr, rrr," you know? And then, so, there's, yeah. Boo is, at the beginning I was like, oh, Boo is OP as hell. Look at that slice. Like, nobody can handle it. But really, Boo is just a noob killer. Like, you use Boo to just make people have a real bad day when they don't know how to play Mario Tennis Aces. Anybody who's even intermediate can get a handle on Boo's spin, and then spin is Boo's only strength, so at that point, if people can handle Boo's spin, Boo's just like a worse version of any other character. If his one advantage is being easily deflected, then, he's got really nothing going on, and then he becomes like a low-tier character. But against new players, very high-tier character. If you just want to be a cheap asshole, use Boo. And I main Boo, so, I'm embracing that. That's fine. I also use left-handed Boo, because that throws people off sometimes. Because it reverses the spin, so people think they got used to Boo's slice, but then they face left-handed Boo, and it's like, oh my god, it's the opposite direction. Shit, I need at least 2 points to figure that out. But yeah, I've never won an online tournament with Boo. I've won one with Toad, and I don't know how, but I guess speed characters are pretty good too. Because they're actually kind of strong. They're stronger than you think they are. They have more power, which is good, but they're also super fast. Also in line with that, Mario Tennis Aces is a fighting game in disguise. It's like Smash Bros. Like, you have your main, but you can't, like, if you're facing a certain opponent, you're going to want to change your character. Because it is kind of like For Honor. It's like, this counters this counters that, this, has an advantage against this. And also, not all characters are created equal in terms of even within their own category. Like Chain Chomp is a power character, but Spike is a power character, and he's tiny, and he has no reach, and he's shit, so nobody uses him. Yeah, basically. There's like 3 all-around characters, Mario, Luigi, and Daisy. There might be a 4th one. But I think Mario, like, statistically is a little better than everyone else, which makes sense. But, yeah, they're not all created equal, so, like, test that out, before you pick a main. Make sure you're picking the right character, or the best one. What was after that? Oh, yeah, online tournaments are fun, but there's no doubles tournaments. Like, there's doubles modes, but they're and that are online, but there's no doubles tournaments that are like ranked. The ranked tournaments are why you play this game, is to get rank points. You go through the tournament like tree, and then you win a fight, you keep going, you win another fight, and it's all random. Like, everybody's playing in the same or in a different tree, but they it's like a server, they come together. So like, if you are in the second round of your tree, you'll find a random opponent who is also in the second round of their tree, and then that's how they all connect. And that's fun. Like, that's how to do it. But you can't do that for doubles. You can only do like free play in doubles, and doubles is the better mode in my mind. It's way more frantic, it's chaotic, it's so fun, and just having the teammate dynamic, if you were just playing with an AI partner, it was fun. Like, at the end of the adventure mode, there's a doubles match where you're Peach and your partner is Daisy, and you're against Waluigi and Wario. And their AI is cranked up, like, pretty high, and so is your partner. So it's actually, like, you get to see your partner do these zone shots that are, like, insane, and you're just like, wow, you're actually contributing to the team. I didn't expect this from you, and it's so fun. It's a team dynamic. It's great. But, yeah, the game really stokes the fires of my competitive spirit, which is a fancy way of saying it pisses me off. That Waluigi trick shot thing, I almost threw not just my controller, but I almost threw my entire room away. Like, if there was a giant trash can that I could, get like a crane or a bulldozer or whatever those, the like shovel arm scoopy things, and just, lift the whole room out from the house and dump it all in the trash, I would have done that. Oh my god, this game is so maddening sometimes. But I strive to be better, because this is a game I want to get really good at, because I play like regular tennis, so I'm more invested than most people. But yeah, none of the offline modes are worthwhile because they don't unlock anything but courts. Like they have local, they have AI cup tournaments like Mario Power Tennis did, like the Mushroom Cup, the Star Cup, and it's against computers. If you win them, you don't get anything. There's nothing, you get nothing. Instead of like unlocking characters like you would if in the other games, instead they're just drip feeding the new characters once a month. Like, if you participate in the online ranked tournaments thing, you get a new character in July. If you don't participate online, you get that character the following month instead. So it's just kind of like this weird qualification thing. And they're drip feeding new characters that they have already programmed. They've already implemented them because they're in the adventure mode. We know who some of them are. Like Blooper and Comic and Dry Bones are all characters that you fight in the adventure mode in tennis. Like, you see them in action, you see them hitting the ball. They're all fully programmed, and they're not on the roster because they decided to lock them out and behind a time-gated bullshit, and it's for no reason, and it's stupid. This is like the first example I've seen of Mario or Nintendo, whichever you want, like really just kind of going this more corporate route for unlocking in-game content. And I don't know, it's a bad direction to go in. Because you just have to wait. You just wait, you get characters. When they decide you get characters, they have all these offline modes that are for no reason because they don't unlock shit. And it really defeats the purpose of a lot of the replayability that Mario Power Tennis had on the GameCube, which was why you could play that for like hours and hours and hours a day and try and unlock the star versions of every character. And unlocking new characters in the process. There weren't no time-gated nothing. You unlocked Wiggler in Mario Power Tennis. You unlocked freaking Sky Koopa, the Paratroopa, whatever, who had that insane, like, cross-court diving thing. Yeah, like, you unlocked characters by earning them, not by having them handed to you at the whims of the developer. So that's annoying. But also, just based on its own merits, the online is the only reason to stick around past a few days. Like, if this didn't have online, I'd be done with it already. Or if it didn't, specifically the ranking modes. I don't know. But, that in itself is worth it. It's just kind of frustratingly disappointing that they've taken a lot of the reason out for maintaining patronage that they had in previous things. And that's just the way that games are going in general. Is rewards are slimming in terms of us earning them, and instead are being handed out to us like they're benefactors. And so we don't earn anything, we just get things. And gaming has already been just like consistently, as we go along, more of a reward-based thing. Like, you need to reward me for my time. Like, hey, I did this thing, where's the shit I get for that? Like, I ain't doing this if they don't have something, at the end of the line for me. It's like every game play thing you do has to have a silver lining or it's not worth it. That's kind of the mentality that we've entered as gamers. But so since we're there, they should capitalize on that instead of just like, going the absolute worst way possible and devaluing our mindset rather than enabling it, I guess. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on Mario Tennis Aces. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna keep getting as good as I can get, I guess, and just have fun and see what, if it changes at all. Since they're adding stuff like, post things like the drip feed characters, maybe they'll add other things too. But overall, Mario Tennis Aces is good. It's a good tennis game. It's really good functionally. It's really terrible rewardingly, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, and subscribe and whatnot. And I'll see you guys next time.